My official name is a little bit different because I'm Virginie Boguillaume. I'm French, but I'm known as Ginny on Instagram.
So I'm Laura Haleydt. My name on Instagram is actually my real name because I have a very difficult last name. So I'm doing a lot of education around that. It's Haleydt.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Herstory TV. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Wellington, New Zealand. And I am graced with the presence of two amazing young ladies coming to us from different parts of the world for a change. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please tell everybody your full names, where you're based, how old you are, and share your story with us today.
Sure. So my official name is a little bit different because I'm Virginie Boguillaume. I'm French, but I'm known as Ginny on Instagram. So yeah, I'm French, but I live in England. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my story. So I've been working in corporate for the last 10 years in marketing and business. And I love my job. I love marketing so much, but I always hated corporate. I always felt stuck. I always felt I could achieve bigger in the world, basically. And I felt like I wasn't really listened to. There's always your boss, and your boss has a boss, and then it's always hard to have someone hearing your ideas. So that's when I decided, I was like, you know what, enough is enough. I need to really find something to do, because I was always a side hustler, but never really took the courage to, put myself out there. And then lockdown hit in Europe anyway, and Laura and I have been put on furlough, so meaning that we had to leave our job and stay at home. So I was like, you know what, cool, I'm gonna be able to open my own business. So I started sharing on Instagram, as simple as that. I was like, I don't care where it takes me, I'm just gonna start sharing about what I know. So Instagram, social media, marketing, digital marketing, and it took off. So yeah, eventually I just applied the strategy that I've learned the past 10 years, and I grew my audience. I found a few clients. I started consulting, so coaching, consulting in marketing and Instagram especially, and helping other businesses, so small businesses, to really use Instagram properly to make themselves known, find some clients, grow on Instagram, and so on. And eventually in July, I was able to quit my job. So finally, that was kind of a dream coming true. And yeah, eventually I met Laura, and we started talking and created another business together, L Synergy. So that's for me anyway.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Laura, what's your story?
Hello, everyone. So I'm Laura Haleydt. My name on Instagram is actually my real name because I have a very difficult last name. So I'm doing a lot of education around that. It's Haleydt. And I'm 26. I'm from Brussels, Belgium. I traveled a bit. So I actually also used to live in Paris, and then I lived in the US before. And for me, my career started actually in startup back in Paris. In a digital agency, which was very typical startup environment, doing business development. But I always kind of went to marketing to make that more interesting. And then afterwards, I moved back to Belgium, and I had a typical corporate job as a brand and trade marketing manager for 4 global beer brands. And I was managing them for Belgium and Luxembourg. I actually, unlike Ginny, I really liked corporate. I actually really enjoyed the job. I didn't really have an issue with the structure. Like, I was actually thriving in there, very happy. Had sort of my career pretty much figured out because I was going to have like this international career. I was already in touch with the headquarters to move around and all of that. But then lockdown hit. I was put on furlough because, well, beer brands were very much linked, obviously, to events, bars, restaurants, and all of that being open. So it was a pretty logical decision. But for me, that was quite difficult because I was so tied to my job that when that fell away, I was like, what do I do now? I was very lost. And yeah, in the beginning, I was a bit lost and I wasn't sure what to do with myself. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep myself busy. I'm going to work on my personal development. And then I stumbled on this whole online business role. And I saw people are making money off their knowledge. They're helping people thrive. So it's very personal and very rewarding. But on top of that, they have location freedom. They have financial freedom, maybe even if their business goes well. So I was quite intrigued, and that's when I was like, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. I started coaching a few female entrepreneurs, also just like Ginny, with Instagram marketing and building their personal brand and all of that. And that actually went really well. And that's when I realized, oh, wow, what I actually know from corporate and my studies and stuff is actually useful. I can actually help people in this area. And then, yeah, from one thing came another. Business scaled quite quickly. Both Ginny and I are coaching businesses. Actually, we scaled to $10,000 a month within 5 months of starting. So it actually really went quite quickly. Instagram started growing well. But what I didn't say is that actually, when we were on furlough, Ginny and I already started talking to each other. We found each other on social media. We connected on Instagram. And we were in the same position. We were both, had a corporate background, had a degree, that was very relevant to marketing and all of that. And then wasn't sure what to do. And we were starting our business. So we were all the time in touch and like kind of coaching each other along the way on how to grow this business. And then indeed, so our separate businesses scaled, but we were in a way kind of colleagues, if that makes sense, in the same niche. And then in October 2020, we were like, who are we kidding? We're building the same exact business, but just duplicating the work. We might as well join forces and do this at a bigger scale and help more people at once. And that's when L Synergy was born. Initially, we were focused on, very much female entrepreneurship, building and scaling with the power of Instagram. And right now, I would say that we broadened up a bit. So we help mainly all service entrepreneurs, male and women. We do have a very female audience, obviously, because we're two, women, so we attract more women. And we indeed help them build and scale their business with Instagram. But we're also now moving more towards helping them just build an online business through passive income and all of that. So yeah, that's a bit about us, our story, and how it all came together.
It's absolutely amazing to watch what is happening with this COVID crisis. There are people who are being really hard hit, finding it difficult to pivot. And then there's people like you who see the opportunity, and you guys seem to have just jumped on it and created something absolutely magical in two different parts of the world. So what do you think is the source to your success? You must either complement each other's weaknesses. Let's talk a little bit about going into partnership with someone and how that works.
Go ahead, Laura.
Okay. Yeah, I think a big part of our success, when just us as a duo, first of all, would be we have like maybe a bit about our background. So Ginny actually has a bachelor in psychology and a master's in marketing, and I have an MBA. So if you take those degrees already from a marketing and building businesses point of view, that's a very strong sort of background academically. Then obviously combined, we have 15 years corporate experience, corporate, global brands, startup even. So it's quite a good mix. So when we come together, it's kind of like this massive, knowledge sharing. And we see that in our industry. I think a lot of people obviously teach Instagram. A lot of people teach people how to bring their business online, but not that many people actually come from the traditional marketing background and implement that into this new world. So I would really say that we brought like something new into this world, where we always go back to business strategy, business foundations, like obviously because that's our background, but that's very powerful to actually come up with proven systems and actually get a lot of successes for our clients. It's not like, hey, everyone's doing this, let's do the same. We look at the industry, we're like, nah, I think this doesn't make sense. And if you really look at this business case, I think this can be better. Like we're a bit acting like a consultant in that way, and then changing things around, coming up with our own frameworks. And obviously it's been super successful, and that's how obviously the business has been able to thrive so well. And then on a more personal level, Ginny and I are indeed very complementary. I mean, there's a reason that we connected and we kept coaching each other. We have different personalities. We have a different tone of voice. We each have our we're obviously both marketing girls, but even within marketing, Ginny's stronger at branding. I'll be a bit more organized and think a bit more about like the day-to-day of the business and the operations. Like we're very complementary in how we like manage the business together, which makes it very fun. And as other, business owners will know, building a business is still hard, and it is nice to have a partner that you can rely on and have shared responsibilities and enjoy this journey with, because not that many people in our environment actually understand what we're doing and understand the full journey that we're on. So
that's
Ginny,
awesome. So Ginny, take me through a process. Somebody new comes to you. They are wanting to know how to get online, how to get their product, their ideas out there. Take me through a step-by-step process on what you would do to help someone new in your business.
Sure. So we actually it took us some time, but we put a process in place. We call it the BCC method, actually. So first, we always start with the business foundations, because a lot of people don't realize, often people come on social media and they think they need to understand social media per se, but really they don't. They need to understand business first and foremost. And what comes social media comes much later. And it's like, we call it your cherry on top, right? So it always starts with the business foundations. That like someone needs to really understand, your niche and the market that you're in and your competitors and what makes you stand out and what makes you different and your branding overall. Like all that is going to be such a game changer for, for differentiating yourself online and to making sure that you're going in the right direction and you have like those solid foundations. And really doing as well market research, talking to your ideal clients, getting to know these people very, very well. But often people talk about demographics. We really talk about, their goals and their problems and their fears and the way they talk and so on. So really making them go through this first and foremost, and that can take some time. And then the next phase called the C. So that's when we talk about the content strategy when it comes to Instagram, because again, we focus on Instagram. So we're really helping them to put a strategy in place and not just like, oh, what time are you going to post? Or am I going to post a picture of myself? No, there's a strategy based on a business foundation. So it's really like, okay, now we taught you this. The next step is to put a strategy in place, knowing what kind of content you're going to create, whether it's educational, inspirational, whether it speak to, what kind of language do they speak, your ideal clients. So really talking them through this. And eventually the conversion. So really understanding, okay, now we built some visibility, we building trust with your ideal clients on the platform through, again, this content strategy. Eventually, we're going to learn how to convert these people, because in order to convert, you need all the before. So once you have this trust, once you have, you educate your ideal clients, you really nurture them on the platform, you're going to convert them. So really understanding the sales process, a bit more of a sales psychology, and really trying to sell without feeling sleazy or pushy. There's other ways to learn how to sell. So that's basically what we're helping them through. That's our process.
That's fascinating. Now, Instagram tends to attract the younger demographic. Am I correct? I know people of an older demographic are mostly on LinkedIn. They're mostly on Facebook. So are you girls attracting the younger generation, or are you servicing businesses on both sides?
I think we have a very mixed. Yeah, go ahead, Ginny.
No, I was going to say the same. Like, I think we have a very mixed thing. I think, it's the same thing. Like Facebook used to be only 17 years old. People, I say 17 because I was 17 when I joined Facebook. But then progressively, these people moved to Instagram, and then it was the older generation who stay on Facebook. And now the very young generations are now on TikTok. So I think that the demographic is really progressively evolving, and there's more and more older generations who are on Instagram. So ours is very mixed. I think Instagram is still there to have anyone, because even people on TikTok still stay on Instagram, because it's easier to create this kind of like really relationship with your ideal client. It's much easier to convert on Instagram than any other platform. But I generally think that, we attract all kind of demographics, from, I would say, probably early 20s to even we have some clients who are in their 50s, even because they need help, because they're struggling a little bit more with Instagram and all that. So they still need help to know how to build their business, basically.
Laura, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I mean, the only thing I would add is actually I used to be very active on LinkedIn. So I have actually a bit of an audience on LinkedIn, and surprisingly, all those people also follow me on Instagram. So okay. I genuinely do think Instagram, I mean, even just thinking of my parents are so active on Instagram, and they're indeed like 60, So I generally do think that's changing a lot. Like Ginny said, Instagram is becoming quite mainstream, as in like so many people are on it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're now in a new world. The world will never quite go back to what it used to be. What 3 pieces of advice would you give anyone in business right now who hasn't been using social media actively, Instagram, to get their message out and to build their brands?
Okay, maybe I'll go first and we do one each. Then you have time to think when you're answering. That's a good thing about having a team, right? You can take turns.
Yes.
The first thing that I'm thinking of is actually be prepared to pivot and adapt. And that's something that we also see with our own clients in our program. So for example, Ginny talks about those business foundations. a lot of people nail down their business foundations and then think they should never change that. But the thing with a good business, and that's actually a typical startup mindset, is that you always need to iterate in order to become indeed better. I mean, what works today is not going to work tomorrow. Simple as that. On social media, things change every single day. So even if you have that perfect strategy that works today, it might not work anymore tomorrow. So you have to keep your ears open. You have to analyze. You have to iterate and always kind of challenge yourself to change. And there's a beauty about social media is that it is so agile and you can have so much feedback. So in that way, I would really say as a business, keep your ears open and keep challenging yourself to update things, even if it's about your business foundations that you think are set in stone. No, they shouldn't. They should still be flexible and adapt based on what's necessary.
Very nice. So you should be constantly evolving and keeping your ear to the ground and the new things that are coming. Ginny, what do you have to add to that?
I would say another thing that we see often entrepreneurs is that they expect results overnight. So they often compare themselves to someone who's much further ahead than them and be like, damn, I'm not as successful. No, look at the small, like look at where you were at yesterday and really stop comparing yourself to other people and really take the time. Like when I decided to go on Instagram, I was like, I'm giving myself a year to find just one client, a year, not a month. So we have a lot of people who expect the world in 3 months, you know, because they see overnight success. But overnight success, first of all, is rarely overnight success. There's a lot of work that we don't see. And it's, you know, it's very rare. Like even ourselves with Laura, we consider ourselves lucky in a way, you know, obviously the card has to align at some point, even though we had worked a lot. It's not normal to have that much success so quickly. So really stop comparing yourself to others who have a lot of success and give yourself enough time to make it work. Because your biggest, the worst that can happen is that you give up, as simple as that. If you don't give up, you will make it happen.
That's nice. That's a really nice attitude to have.
Yeah.
So where do you girls see yourselves in the future? 5 years from now, 10 years from now, where is this business going? What's the vision that you've crafted?
Doing a lot more of this, you know, that's our goal. Yeah, I think Ginny and I definitely are now getting to the stage in the business where we want to step into our founder role and really be, you know, both indeed maybe the face of the company. So obviously work on our personal brands, put our name out there, have more interviews, focus on all of this, write a book, maybe do TED Talks, all these kind of big dreams that we do have. Because at this point, like we've kind of been hustling, I would say, for a year to really build up this business because it is still a lot of hard work. Like Ginny said, it might seem like an overnight success, but we did work hard to get to this point. And now we start hiring a lot of people. So we're really building our team to manage the day-to-day so we can step into that founder role to really focus on a strategy, plan ahead, focus on new projects, and really scale it to that next level. So in a couple of years, even a lot more of this and making sure that the business also runs without us. Of course, we're in the business, but a bit less in the operational side, and obviously create a lot more jobs and scale the team.
That sounds awesome. Wow. Well, thank you both so much for coming online today. Have I missed any question that I should have asked you?
Oh,
not really. Good question. I'm speechless.
Good. That means I've done a good job.
Yeah, I think you did a great job.
Absolutely wonderful. It was so nice connecting with both of you. I can see the strengths that you bring to your business. You girls probably speak, what, 3-4 languages between the two of you, so you can be an international brand instantly. I can hear the French, the English, the Belgium is in there. Am I correct?
Yeah, I speak Spanish normally and Ginny French.
That is awesome, awesome, awesome. So thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. The Herstory platform is really trying to bring women from all walks of life, different types of talents. If you are looking for a company that can help get you online, please get in touch with Ginny and Laura. I will put their email, I'll put their website with this interview, and they'll be featured in our magazine as well. The world is changing. If you think that things are going to go back to the way they were, I think you need to forget it. Learn how to use social media to get your business out there. And here is the help that can help you do that. Thank you so much, ladies. Wonderful to have met you both. And goodbye, everybody, wherever you are in the world. I'll be back again tomorrow with yet another fascinating interview. Bye for now.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.